What is going on, Aries? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct again, and this is going to be your general reading for January 5th through the 15th. You know, it was supposed to be the 1st through the 15th, Aries, but yeah, I am kind of behind, I admit. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into your energies for right now, which is a good thing because I know I think we had like a full moon and an eclipse or something like that happening on the 5th. I'm not that deep into astrology, but I know I've been hearing some of the other tarot readers talk about it, so I think I'm catching you guys at a good time, you know? Yeah, right on time. So this will be a general reading. It may not resonate with everybody. If it does resonate with you, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I definitely appreciate all the likes and comments and, you know, the love that I'm getting from the Aries. Appreciate you guys keep coming out and showing me love. What was the next thing I was going to say? Yeah, if it doesn't resonate with you, you can always catch me on one of my next readings or one of my previous readings. Or you can look into doing a personal reading with me. That information will be in the description for anybody that wants a personal reading that is open to all zodiac signs. All right, so Aries, this is going to be your present energy right here that we're going to be working with. And then after that, we're going to get into your futuristic energy right here. So let's hop into it. Aries, I know you guys don't want to waste any time, right? So starting off, we had the 10 of Cups. So you guys starting off with the 10 of Cups at the crowning of your reading. It could be representing a time at the beginning of the year 2019. Happy New Year, by the way, that you guys want to, you're kind of focusing on what will make you emotionally fulfilled, emotionally happy. This is that card that speaks to that side of you that wants to be emotionally fulfilled. And it comes down to all areas of your life. You know, you want to be fulfilled in whatever you do, whatever work you do, whatever you do in your waking life, whoever you're with, the people you're around, your social circle, you know, the relationship that you're in, the relationship that you want to be in. You know, you're thinking about emotional fulfillment right now. And clarifying that card, we had the 5 of Cups. So maybe in the past or in recent times, maybe you have had some disappointment when it came down to your emotional fulfillment, when it came down to, you know, your emotional connections. Maybe you could have had some disappointment in that area of your life, which is why the 5 of Cups here usually represents disappointment. You know, something happening that we kind of like just feel like we're disappointed because it didn't turn out the way that we thought it was going to be. You know, this is kind of like maybe, you know, a little bit of the crying over spilled milk a little bit, or just like being disappointed that maybe you invested or you had a vision for your emotional world to be a little bit better than it is right now. Maybe this could be with somebody, because the 10 of Cups to me usually represents, you know, someone that you wanted to have like a family with, or you wanted to grow with, or you had a connection with emotionally. And maybe with the 5 of Cups here, it just didn't make it to that 10. You know, maybe it just wasn't enough energy, you know, between the two of you, or it wasn't the right time, or something just didn't go right where it didn't make it to the 10 of Cups. So for some of you guys, you could just be thinking of that coming into the new year, like, wow, I can't believe that didn't work out. Like, you know, I can't believe I invested in something and then it just didn't turn out the way that I thought it would turn out, and it didn't make it to completion, you know? We didn't go on to have that relationship or that marriage or that family like I thought I was going to have with this person. And for some reason, I'm thinking about it being as a person. Or if it's not that, it could just be your overall way that you're seeing your emotional world, or your relationship, your romantic relationships. You know, how maybe you're not having exactly what you want in that area of your life right now. So that makes sense with the 5 of Cups. Right below that, we have the 6 of Cups. So this is why I'm thinking it has to do with a person, because the 6 of Cups usually represents someone in your world that's kind of like a past life soulmate, somebody from the past or somebody from a past life, and you had a connection with them, you know, kind of like your soulmate, you know, your lover. You kind of had just some type of vibe with them where you guys connected on a soul level. It was deep, you know. And so maybe that was the thing that didn't turn out to be like the 10 of Cups that you thought it would be, and you were kind of like disappointed with this connection that you had with this person. That could be from the past. Maybe it could be an ex. Maybe it could just be a past life connection, you know. And so either two things, but you having a Six of Pentacles right here. Six of Pentacles represents give and take. So two scenarios. On one scenario, maybe you were dealing with a person that wasn't given into the connection as much as you were given into the connection. And so that's why I didn't make it to that 10 of Cups, that level of completion. And the relationship probably didn't continue because maybe you were given more, you know, to the connection, and then the person that is your, you know, your soulmate, or you had that soulmate connection with, was not given into it as much as you were. And maybe that's why it kind of fell apart and you had to kind of stop investing in it. But I believe you wanted to have this connection with this person because it's a soulmate. But you were giving, maybe trying to make the connection continue, trying to make the connection get to the 10 of Cups, you know, being fulfilled within this connection with this person. But it just couldn't make it there because they didn't want to give into it the way you were giving into it. Now, for other of you guys, it could represent that this soulmate from the past could be coming back around and wanting to give into this connection. You know, wanting to kind of like give into it like they were not giving to it in the past. And maybe you'll have to make a decision whether you want to even deal with them again. You know, if you want to trust them to be able to give you that investment that you wanted in the past, but they were not giving it. Maybe they could be coming back around because the Six of Cups usually represents a soulmate coming back around too. And then with the Six of Pentacles, they could be coming back around trying to invest, trying to give more than they gave in the past. Right? 6 and 6 at the same time. So that's kind of like a matchup a little bit, you know. So maybe you could see that soulmate from the past coming. But at the same time, I think you're to a place where you kind of want to give up on it too, because the 10 of Wands represents you kind of being burdened down a little bit. You could have been feeling like this was a whole weight that you were carrying around, and you did it for so long. And, you know, you stayed strong and you continued to give, and you continued to be the one that kind of like carried the heavy load, but this person just wasn't helping you do it. And so you could be making a decision as to whether you want to continue on with that person because, you know, it's been like a burden that you've been carrying, or whether you want to give into something else. Because this Two of Cups, and I like how it's depicted in this this deck. This is the Gustav Klimt deck, by the way. But in this deck, you know, you see a lady giving to two of her kids, and it's kind of like she's trying to kind of like equally feed them so that they can both get the nutrients they need. But, you know, at the same time, she's trying to balance how she feeds them both so maybe both of them can get fed. But this can also represent you balancing whether you want to stay in this connection with this person that has become so burdensome, or whether you just want to start over a new cycle, because the 10 represents a completion of a cycle. And, you know, instead of you getting the 10 of Cups from this connection that you had with this soulmate from the past, or this past life lover, you instead got the 10 of Wands, which was nothing but burdens. So instead of you enjoying it, it became just extra weight that you had to carry. So you're deciding if you even want to put up with them again, even if they pop back up on some new, you know, I've been changed, I've been transformed, now I want to be different. You may be debating in your mind if you even want to deal with them again, because you know how burdensome it was in the past, which makes sense. Aries, you guys instead could be thinking about something new that you want to begin. The Page of Wands here represents you working on a new project, you being passionate and fired up about something new that you want to start when it comes down to something creative, a project, a business, something you're doing on the side, a new stream of income, a new career, a new path that you want to take that you're passionate about. And you could be focusing on that because you see how this person has his back turned to this soulmate right here. And he's kind of like, I don't know if I'm even feeling that, you know, like I kind of just want to give all that information. I kind of want to give all of that energy to myself is kind of what this person is saying, because I tried to work with you and I got nothing but burdens. So you could be, you know, juggling between maybe dealing with them some more, or just moving forward into this new direction, starting this new project, this new, you know, fascination that you have with something, and you kind of want to invest your energy into something brand new and just leave that in the past, because I believe it has been completed with that 10 of Wands. right? Then you have to clarify that the Eight of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles represents you being hard at work on something, you being extra focused and invested in maybe into this new project that you're working on, this new thing that you want to be passionate about, you want to invest your time in. You could feel like you wasted enough time with this soulmate that you were in connection with, and all you got was burdens, and now you just want to be free from it and start over at the one. You know, instead of having those 10 burdens, you want to start over with something brand new and invest your time, energy, and focus into that and build that, which is why the Eight of Pentacles is here. And I think a lot of you guys are going to do that because you did not get that emotional fulfillment from this person that was supposed to be a soulmate, because they were not given to you the way you were given to them. Who wants to be in something like that? Right below that, you have the Tower moment. So some type of shakeup comes in. Maybe it's something that kind of brings you to this point of what I was just talking about before we got to the Tower card. It could be some type of shakeup that came in from the universe. You know, it could have just been the new year. But the Tower moment usually, you know, represents some type of rude awakening that we get. And it's kind of like, okay, wow. Okay, I understand. I'm moving up. I'm moving right along. I'm waking up. I'm going to change some things. And to be honest, a lot of signs are getting the Tower card with all these readings that I'm doing right now. It's kind of like the beginning of 2019 wants to just like wake us up out of the sleep we were in for 2018. Just wants to check us a little bit and let us know it's going to be different this year. So maybe during this time period, you guys could just be getting a little shake from the universe. But for everybody, it's been just a light shake up, just a light rude awakening. Real swift, you know, even though it's still the power of the Tower card. And if you know anything about tarot, the Tower card could represent like, you know, the dark night of the soul. Sometimes it could represent kind of like you feeling like hell on earth. But for most of the signs, the energy I've been feeling behind it is just like a quick rude awakening, like a quick strike of lightning, like boom, okay, wake up. And then we get it, and then we can just keep it moving. With you guys, it could have to do with on one end, it could be a third-party situation. So maybe this person that you probably could have been dealing with in the past was not able to give into you because they could have, you know, been dealing with another person, maybe a third party, whatever they were dealing in. They just couldn't invest that time into you. So maybe you could be finding that out during this time, or just realizing it and, you know, stopping yourself from investing any more into something that, you know, is not all the way focused on you, where it's not equal give and take. And that's probably what you could be waking up to the fact of. Or maybe you have already come to that decision, like I said, to where you want to turn your back on that soulmate and move forward, working on, you know, your own things, building your own things by yourself. And maybe you could just be celebrating that fact that, wow, I finally woke up. Now I can move on. Because the Three of Cups also represents a celebration, you know, like you just celebrating the fact that maybe you ended that chapter. That's another scenario. And then I have a third scenario for you guys. For some of you guys, to be honest, this could represent a reunion. Only because I know earlier I felt like it was two different scenarios with this card. Like I felt that for some of you guys, it could have been somebody coming in from the past that wanted to give back to you a little bit more. You know, and they kind of wanted to equal out the give and take because they know they weren't investing into you as much as you were investing into them. So a soulmate from the past could be coming back in. And for some of you guys where that is happening, maybe it could be bringing on a Tower moment where you're just kind of like so surprised. You're so shocked that you're like, oh, snap. This actually is happening right now. And so because the Three of Cups could represent a reunion, a reconciliation. You know, so that's another scenario. You just have to kind of see where you fit in with these scenarios, because I feel that it's like three different scenarios for three different Aries here. Right? And it's just everything that I said before I got to this point. So that could be happening too. But on the other hand, for some of you guys, it could just be you waking up out of that whole old cycle you were in with this person and then choosing to move on with your life and kind of build something for yourself and put all of your focus into this new work, this new project that you're focusing on. And that's why the Tower moment could be waking you up to get on to that point, you know? And then you could be celebrating the fact that you kind of woke up. That's another scenario, right? So let's move on to your futuristic cards. Aries, we have the Nine of Cups, the Fool card, the Eight of Swords, and then the Ace of Wands right there. So, starting off with the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups represents some type of emotional fulfillment. Wish fulfillment is what it represents, because the Ten of Cups represents like total emotional fulfillment. The Nine of Cups represents like a wish fulfillment, something you wish for that you could be getting at the time, you know. But once again, I see two scenarios because it's multiple meanings to these cards. So for some of you guys, you could have an offer that is coming in from the person that I was talking about, that's from the past, that you felt like you had a soulmate connection with, and that could be giving you like some type of wish fulfillment, where you feel like, wow, like my wish actually came true. Like, this is crazy, it's happening. For some of you other guys, you could be at the point to where, and I mean guys and girls when I say that, like, just so you guys know. But for some of you other guys, it's kind of like, the person could be coming in to make an offer to you, and you could just feel like you're already fulfilled within yourself, and you really don't need their offer anymore. And so for some of you guys, you could be turning down an offer if it's coming from somebody that's from the past that you once thought was a soulmate, but now, you know, it's kind of like you've invested so much time, you don't even want to waste time anymore. So you could just be crossing your arms like, nah, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. You do you. Like, I'm actually good. So that could be happening also. That's that other scenario. That's the flip side of it. Right below that, though, we have the Fool card. So, I just dropped the card over here. So the Fool card is representing that new beginning that you're having after, you know, this whole thing happens, where the old, you know, fling could come back, the old soulmate could come back and then offer you something, and then you decide to either take it, you know, and then start something new with them, or you're going to decide to just leave it alone and say that I'm good and I want to start something new within my financial material world, within things that I'm passionate about, and I'm going and taking a leap into that, in that direction, instead of dealing with this old soulmate, which is why we have the King of Pentacles right here. So the King of Pentacles is representing you focusing on your money. So you could be taking a leap in the direction of building up your finances, your money, your stability, your material world, and just kind of like moving on from the past of dealing with all of that emotional stuff that just didn't work out, you know. Maybe you want to try something new now, which makes sense, Aries. Right below that, we have the Eight of Swords. So this came up in one of your previous readings, Aries, and it could just be representing, you know, you being kind of like stuck in your head a little bit. It could be, you know, you making that decision to move all the way forward, you know, or to kind of like deal with something from the past, because right here we had the Two of Pentacles, and that represents somebody that's juggling two different things. Should I do this or should I do that? Should I go in this direction or that direction? Ultimately, I think you're going to go into a brand new direction, though, because we have the Fool card here. And then we had the Page of Wands here, which represents a brand new start inside of your, you know, world, your passions, like something that you're passionate about building. So I think you're ultimately going to choose to go into something new, but maybe you could have in the near future a time where you kind of get stuck in your head about it. Clarifying it, we had the Hierophant, though. So the Hierophant card is representing, like, you know, it could represent a change of beliefs, maybe with the way you see relationships or emotional connections, or what you feel you need to focus on at this time. You know, what you feel you need to settle into, because you remember, if you guys saw one of my last readings I did for Aries, I was talking about how you were moving on from being the lieutenant to the general. And so you had this Hierophant card that was there, and it was representing like certain traditions and certain, you know, what's the other word? What is the other word? I can't think of it. But another, you know, word for tradition, where you kind of just want to settle in to certain routines that you that will help you build your empire, help you build your material world. And so I think that's the thing that's going to keep you out of maybe getting stuck in your head about maybe the past. Because I believe you only get it stuck in the head if you're kind of trying to wrestle between two different things. which is, do I deal with the past or do I just take that leap into the future? But the Hierophant here could just be representing, you know, what you want to settle into going into the future, what you want to build on, because the Hierophant represents like those traditions, those things that have been around for years that we kind of want to build, our core belief system, all of that, and you might maybe wanting to invest in that for your future and creating those things for your future, right? And that's what's kind of going to get you out of your head. Right below that, though, we have the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands just represents, once again, that new passionate beginning that's coming in for you. And I believe it could be in the direction of what you want to work on with your own passions, what you want to build in your life, your career, your projects, your business, whatever it is that you want to invest in for 2019 that you see yourself building up. I think that's what direction you're going to be headed in. And the Ace of Wands represents that brand new direction, that brand new start. And you have it clarified by the Knight of Wands. So I think you're going to be heading full speed ahead into that direction. This could also represent maybe a fire sign coming in your direction for some of you guys. So maybe, like I said, it's a couple of scenarios. So for some of you guys, you could have a fire sign coming your way that maybe is from the past, that maybe is an old lover, ex, past life, you know, connection. And you could have them, you know, offering a passionate new beginning with you, a fire sign coming in and offering a passionate new beginning. But for a lot of you guys, I feel that is you taking on the Knight of Wands energy, where you just kind of like want to go full speed ahead into your projects, into what you're passionate about, something that you want to focus on and build on. Because this is also you wanting to start something new and then focus on it with the Eight of Pentacles. This is like that laser focus on something that you want to be hard at work at and build and invest all of your time into that. And I think that's what's going on with you during this time, Aries. And it kind of like keeps popping up in all of your readings. So it's just a reiteration of the direction that you're heading in. There's nothing that's really changing for you guys from month to month about where you're headed. It's just, I think you want to head towards something you're passionate about and building that empire that you know you have to build, and being that mafia boss that I was talking about in that other reading, right? And maybe that is what the Tower moment is talking about. It's kind of going to clear out those things that may have been getting in your way in the past and stopping you from getting to those points in your life, right? So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there for you guys, Aries. I hope you guys enjoyed that reading, definitely. And if it resonated with you, you could like it, share it, subscribe. You can comment. I appreciate everybody that's kind of been reaching out to me and commenting and letting me know, you know, that it matches you. So I'll see you guys next time. Happy New Year once again. And I'll be back with the mid-month readings. Later.